Look at how amazing this banana cake looks. Delicious, moist, and we've made it without using the oven. Hello, sweet tooths. Today we're making a fantastic dessert that you can prepare without an oven, and it has a banana base that's just amazing. The first thing is to put a large egg, size L, into a big bowl. Here, I'm also gonna add 1/3 cup of sugar, and we're gonna beat this until we get a more or less smooth cream. So beat it for about a minute until you get this creamy texture, then enhance the flavors with a pinch of salt. We're also gonna add a good splash of vanilla essence, extract, or flavoring to give it some extra taste, and we're gonna blend it with Ciento. 30 milliliters or 3/5 cup of milk or any plant-based drink. We give it a few stirs so it mixes together, and now we have the liquid part ready. The dry ingredients will be 1 cup of flour, which is about 125 grams, and I add it through a strainer or sieve so it mixes even more easily. I add a tablespoon of cornstarch. You could also substitute this with flour, but if you use this cornstarch trick, it turns out softer. We also add a teaspoon of baking powder and then mix everything together. We're going to stir it a few times, and when you see that it's already liquid and uniform, the cream is ready. Perfect! Now what we're gonna do is take 2 bananas, remove the ends, and cut them. But if you notice, I'm going to cut this banana lengthwise, so I get 2 halves and it looks nicer. Once you have them, you remove the peel. We have to remember that. On the other hand, we take a pan about 20 centimeters in diameter, place it over medium heat, and add a teaspoon of butter. We're going to stir it around until it starts to bubble like this. Optionally, you can sprinkle a little bit of sugar on it afterwards, but don't overdo it, just a little to give it that golden caramel touch. Once the sugar is dissolved, we add the banana. So we're going to arrange the halves in a way that covers as much of the surface of our pan as possible. Alright, another half here? Perfect. In the end, I have half left over. Now what we do is put the cream on top so that there's an even layer covering everything. We'll cover it so it acts like an oven, and we're going to leave it on low heat. As you can see, the surface is already dry. In my case, it took 25 minutes. What I do now is simply flip it over. Clean off any caramel left in the pan so it doesn't stick. This detail is important. You remove it more or less like this, easily, and add a little more butter, in this case less. Just a little is enough. You brush the bottom very well, put the cake back inside, cover it again, and cook for another 5 to 8 minutes. This way it finishes cooking on both sides, comes out perfect, fully cooked, and looks amazing. Look, what an amazing sight! A fantastic dessert that's super easy to make, super quick, fluffy, and delicious. Don't tell me you wouldn't want to be the owner of this fork. Look how soft and tasty it is. One piece after another, after another, after another. A combination that everyone loves. Fruit, sponge cake, delicious things, and everything quick to make. Advantages: